Hello, my friends, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today, we are going to talk about Black Myth Wukong and the drama surrounding it. I first saw the rumblings of the beginnings of this on June 13th, the evening of, with this post by Pirate Nation. Here it says, Chinese media, Black Myth Wukong, refused to be extorted $7 million by Sweet Baby. English. The reason why the team behind Black Myth Wukong has been subjected to persistent sexist attacks and slander since their first promotional video is because they have consistently refused political correctness guidance and rejected the extortionate guidance fees of millions of dollars demanded by these political correctness teams. Actually, such teams are quite common in Europe and America. They interfere with works like Assassin's Creed, Dying Light 2 Stay Human, and God of War by pushing for politically correct female protagonists. These changes are the direct result of interference and guidance of such teams. Game science teams refuse to communicate with these groups and reject their interference. Most importantly, they refuse to pay the exorbitant $7 million in guidance fees. This is the direct reason why they are being attacked and slandered. Some justifications are based on the team's lack of diversity or representation, which doesn't align with the political correctness standards. A typical example is an article by a major IGN writer criticizing Hogwarts Legacy and refusing to evaluate or promote it due to its alleged lack of political correctness. And here you see that very long post with Hideo Kojima actually promoting it, and this person down here saying, seeing you promote and praising a game studio with such a fervent and history of sexism and hatred is really disappointing to me. So I got curious and I Googled, and here you see quite a few results. I mean, I went back quite a ways, but without going on forever. The first article I found was from The Gamer on August 28th, 2023. This says, I'm Chinese and Black Myth Wukong doesn't excite me as much as it should. Now, if I'm honest, I vaguely remember seeing this article briefly. I wasn't doing videos at the time, so I really didn't pay a lot of attention. Here she breaks down the various parts of the story, how she was thrilled about it, about the Asian representation that's not Japanese. But then there's controversy. In 2020, comments from game science founder and CEO Feng Zhi sparked a debate about the treatment of female gamers and had people proposing boycotts. On the day that trailer was released, Feng made a post on Weibo. If I mispronounce anything, I apologize. I want to expand our workforce and hire more people. I want to be licked so much that I can't have an erection anymore, he wrote following Black Myth Wukong's 2020 reveal. I know you guys just happen to be so horny. I'm glad that the trailer has given you some satisfaction. My goal is to give blowjobs to people who appreciate my work and to help people who share my vision achieve orgasms. Okay, now I feel like I just read some porn, but that's beside the point. In another post about the trailer, he said, now I feel pressure in my pants. These are weird and kind of gross statements to make on a public forum, to be sure, but not necessarily indicative of bigotry. And also, realistically, you're talking about translating from a highly symbolic language into a less symbolic language, where a lot of that stuff can generally just be about excitement, and the translator made it sexual. I mean, pressure in my pants is obviously about excitement. However, some cited the company's 2015 recruitment advertisement, which were highly and inexplicably sexualized, making some feel it indicated a sexist company culture. He also said that Black Myth Wukong needed no female players, alongside some other stereotypes about women and gay people. I know some gamers like to ignore the actions of companies as long as they make good games. I am not one of those gamers. Knowing that I will be putting my money into the pockets of a misogynist by buying a game makes me deeply uncomfortable. Will I be playing the game and writing about it honestly and critically on the basis of its merits? Sure, if I get a code. It's my job to care about the AAA landscape, and Chinese representation in the gaming industry will benefit from coverage of this game. But I don't want to spend a cent on it because I'm not interested in making people like this richer. These allegations have put a huge damper on my excitement for China's first AAA, and it's a huge shame. The game looks beautiful. Sun Wukong is one of the most compelling characters in Chinese literature, which is why there are so many characters and shows inspired by him. But that's not going to be enough to get me excited for this game's release and possible success. I wish I cared more, but I don't. These are the first mention of these allegations that I could find. However, on November 20th, IGN published how Black Myth Wukong developers' history of sexism is complicating its journey to the West. And here, a lot of the same breaking down, etc., etc. And then a long conversation about how this Feng Ji has made a lot of comments that they don't like. Apparently, he can be quite crude, at least as translated into English. They consider his approach to be disgusting, accuse him of the culture of sexism, so on and so forth. And another one from November 20th, Black Myth Wukong devs accused of enabling sexist culture from game developer. Black Myth Wukong developer accused of sexist unprofessional work culture. Another one from the 20th on The Gamer. This was November 21st. Black Myth Wukong dev accused of sexist recruitment in social media posts. And again, it's the same stuff. This is on GameIndustries.biz. Then they wait a few months. And December 7th, you have Black Myth Wukong has a release date, but still no reply to reports of sexism. The Game Awards 2023. And of course, here again, they repeat the same allegations. And finally, because it's not complete without a Reddit post, from r/girlgamers, I will not be spending any more time on this forum than I absolutely have to, because I don't like Reddit. In case you want to try Black Myth Wukong, it was developed by a Chinese studio that is completely sexist and had a lot of comments expressing their despise for female gamers. Their members publicly announced that their games are not for women and they do not need women. There are 2 articles about it, and here's 2 we've already talked about. And right, despite tons of Chinese women having expressed their anger, the studio does not care. A lot of men are expressing their strong expectations because they think this game is the future and the landmark of Chinese games. People who viewed the trailers and developed an interest in it, I hope you know the background before you pay for it. And that sort of wraps us back around here to Pirate Nation and his post on June 13th. On June 14th, Grums picks it up and starts to spread the word. Here he says the founder of Black Myth Wukong, Feng Ji, sounds incredibly based. In November, IGN wrote a hit piece about an article on him and the studio founders, but ended up making them look like the honey badgers of gaming. Feng, you don't need the reverse motivation of female players. You don't need to take care of those worms who just want to date chicks. Some things are just for men. Their recruiting posters included a picture of a woman's rear end and joked about friends with benefits as an implied office perk, along with the phrase, don't screw your colleagues. But the rest of this is big fucking whatever. Here is a long Weibo post regarding the issue that content must cater to female players, which it shouldn't. It should just cater to players. I've always been extremely confused as I look at the way I position my product and say loudly into the mirror, my game is for girls. If this is not the case, then you have to think about what the majority of girls want. If you make such a product, like the way gaming is depicted in Black Mirror, where players need to earn spending points through extremely simple in-game behaviors, such as riding bikes or growing flowers and plants, and using these points to purchase various European and American brands and new Japanese novelty products that are in season, you can hire a few part-time buyers for 3,000 yuan a month. You only need to collect product information and release patches for a new avatar every month. At the same time, you can make exceedingly cute companions as pets. These pets can even be the pretty boys from popular Western TV series. Although accelerating artifacts, you can even earn more points more quickly, and these large amounts of points you can purchase golden tickets to participate in online reality shows, with girls gathering support by uploading photos or recording MVs, with the top 100 people on the list that month earning the opportunity to be part of the upper class so they can qualify for buying high-end limited edition items and rare male companion pets, and thus rise through the ranks to join the judging panels of fashion groups and reality shows. Oh my god, that sounds horrific. As long as the product is functional at its most basic level when it's online, Fujoshi losers and their circle can accumulate somewhat considerable developments, with small companies that are willing to spend 2 million yuan in advertising fees every month in exchange for at least 3 times more net revenue. Then you wait for gaming brands to sue you, and the money you have in your pockets will be enough to hire a couple of desperate lawyers to help you drag the lawsuit out for 5 years, only to invest in a green card. Moreover, if the number of users reaches a higher level, what you may receive is not a lawyer's letter, but an invite to collaborate. The G-spot of male and female games are fundamentally different. It's true. This is not determined by the gaming environment, but by biological conditions. When you are holding a heavy machine gun and shooting it at governments in your dreams, what the ladies are dreaming about are bags that would make their friends jealous. Okay, I'm going to say most women would dream about that. I prefer the gun. If you design games about turning government buildings into bloodbaths and bag collecting, the result will be that the girls will not like this mechanic and you won't be satisfied with the drops. Crap. Occasionally I realize I am not a normal woman. The richer the gaming experience of the players, the clearer they are about what they really want. If you want to make games that will be well received by the public, you have to be true to the quirks of the market. Fuck sissies, fuck tragic love stories, fuck moonlit peach blossoms and flute-playing scholars. You don't need the reverse motivation of female players. You don't need to take care of those worms who just want to date chicks. Some things are just for men, their depression, their anger, their pain. If I really like soft and effeminate things, I just need to make something different and wear stockings and suspenders to work every day, work out at the gym at 4 p.m. without fail, brew chrysanthemum tea every day, put a humidifier on the table. This is what I call professionalism. So really all he's saying here is that women and men like different games, which is true for the most part. You always have the weirdos like me around here who would much rather be out there turning government buildings into bloodbaths, to quote him. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't understand this thing where people think that men and women have to be the same or have to like the same things, or it's wrong to make things that cater directly to one or the other. But we're getting sidetracked. Separate issues in many ways. But here's that Weibo post we talked about earlier with him wanting to expand the circle of things and so forth. Grums will go on to point out that the hit piece was written by Rebecca Valentine, who of course is friends with Alyssa Mercante and even appeared in her Fight Me Bro video, which was absolutely cringe, is the way to describe that. And as we read earlier, they were extorted for $7 million in guidance fees. The thing I don't understand is why everybody is assuming that it's Sweet Baby Inc. As we have discovered through other videos, there are a number of these firms out there. I feel like just saying Sweet Baby Inc. is really easy for people to kind of throw out there. I don't want people to get lost on that one topic, though, or on that one. I don't want people to get locked in on the one target, because all of them are very likely the same. I'm sure there might be one or two out there who aren't specifically out there to change things to what they believe it should be as much as they are to actually help. But until I see that, I will have problems believing that. And of course, another tweet from Grums talking about the whole situation. And I guess part of the Sweet Baby Inc. accusations is the fact the hire us or else thing, where earlier they did do that video where they specifically said that if you are in a gaming company, you need to take your marketing directors out to lunch and express that these sorts of things can happen, that they can have these articles written about them and to scare them into using their services. Learning the Law, or at Manga Lawyer, began looking into the subject, especially around the translation issues. Now, I mentioned way earlier in the video about the fact that a lot of issues can crop up when you're translating from one language to another. We especially see this a lot in anime and foreign video games and being localized. A lot of times people will take the words that they're seeing and apply their own mental bias to it and make it what they think it is, as opposed to understanding that, well, they're trying to put those words into the culture that they are translating for, that they actually have to take into account the culture that they're translating from, as opposed to just the one. A lot of times you miss a great deal of information by focusing too much on the one culture as opposed to understanding the first culture. And here you have Sumerian Tater Tots. Hello, dear followers. Since they're watching new teaser videos about this game, a friendly reminder that the game developer himself said this game needed no female players. Realistically, it doesn't. I still may play it. I don't really care if it doesn't need female players. What's he going to do? Not take my money? Here you have, I am a Chinese gamer. This is a group post. Please calm down and understand what I mean. This sentence is not said by the developer. It is said by a person in the comment section. This tweet is a rumor. And this person says, like, you'd buy it, you don't need a female player for a AAA game. Which, of course, we just saw in the previous posts that he does speak about not needing female gamers, which he's right, because he's not designing specifically for female gamers. He's designing a game for his chosen audience. And there's nothing wrong with designing a game for your chosen audience. If your chosen audience is men, then you don't need female gamers. And that's okay, because there are plenty of other games out there for female gamers. Go play Barbie Ranch Fantasy or whatever in the world it's called. Hello Kitty Island or something like that. And here Grimes points it out that IGN has been slandering game studios for months now. As I showed, the first article I found was from August 2023, and they really picked up in November. So I'm going to guess they dropped the one in August and is an attempt to tempt them to say, hey, we could do this and start down that path. And then on the 20th, they decided, you know what? They're not listening, so we're gonna really set in on them. One non-rumory thing I wanted to cover was the release, the actual upcoming release. Give you guys the information so you can decide. Everything aside, yeah, I get you could be excited about the fact that they have fought against the evil consulting racket, that they seem to be interested in making games for men and all that fun stuff. But something to keep in mind are the other issues we're having in the industry right now. As I've said, I don't like focusing solely on the DEI stuff. It is an issue, but it is not the only issue. I don't want people to get so focused on that they ignore other things, such as physical media, pricing, all that fun stuff. So here we have Black Myth Wukong, all editions and pre-order bonuses explained. Black Myth Wukong's physical edition comes with no disc, but includes digital download codes, offering collectibles and in-game bonuses. The Xbox release is delayed, so this will be focusing on PS5 and PC. Pre-order reveal standard, digital deluxe, and collector's edition. Physical deluxe and collector's edition of Black Myth Wukong contain a variety of collectibles and in addition to in-game bonuses. And I will say I did go through this article first to see if there was any mention whatsoever of the controversy. And there really doesn't seem to be. They stick to the single topic of the costs of the various editions. So here we see Standard Edition. MSRP is $59.99 with the pre-order bonus of the Trailblazers Scarlet Gourd. Digital Deluxe is $69.99. You get the Scarlet Gourd and you get Bronze Cloud Staff, Folk Opera Armor Set, Wind Chimes, and the digital soundtrack. So basically the same stuff in the above, but the physical collectibles are the Steelbook Case, Wind Chime Necklace, Gold Sun Crow Pin, Thunderstone Ring, Constricting Headband, Chaos at the Pearls Banquet, a Silk Scroll, Warranty Certificate, and Stamp and Postcard. And then for a whopping $399.99, you get the above, including the case, the pin, the ring. You get Teachings of the Heart Sutra, a Silk Scroll, the Warranty Certificate, Stamps and Postcards, and Confront Destiny, a 40-centimeter statue of Sun Wukong. As the owner of a PS5 with the disc slot in it, I don't remember exactly which model that is, the fact that there is no physical disc bothers me. I would want a physical disc. But I still want, for $59.99, I still want a physical disc. But that's not the world we live in right now, unfortunately. Overall, I'd likely get it on PC either way. But costs really aren't terrible. I haven't heard anything about DLCs or microtransactions, so that I imagine we will have to wait and see. But I'm kind of thinking we won't see a lot of microtransactions on this one, if any. Or I could be wrong, and there's tons of them. That we'll find out when it comes out. Anyway, what do you guys think of all this? Do you have thoughts? Do you have opinions? Do you think it's crazy how badly they seem to want to slander these people? I mean, they really did work very hard at it. Are you going to play this game? Let me know all that fun stuff down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notifications. If you really liked it, you can feel free to share it around, and I will catch you later.